and I want to thank God that we have an all-volunteer Army, that we don't need the selective service. But in case we do, we got an honorable man over there, Marine, who's definitely at the controls. So it's a great patriot. So thanks for being here. But this is just a great American Veterans Center. They do this every year. It's a great opportunity. And Brian, I've heard your story, and another great American. Just his story is just incredible, and can't wait to hear that. But pretty much, I'm a kid from upstate New York, Buffalo. Go Bills! And I joined the Army. I really had no idea what I was doing when I joined the Army. To be honest with you, I brought a hairdryer to basic training, and much to the chagrin of those around me and my drill sergeants. But I just thought it was the thing to do. You know, you might need it. You never know. There was a prom or something at the end of it. But I found out real quick, if you're going to join the Army, you join the infantry, right? I mean, I didn't know that there were other jobs, of course, but what's the point? I mean, there was no war going on. Towers were up. Kosovo was the big, fight. And I did 9 months in Kosovo, and it was an absolute, it was a joke. I'm going to be totally frank with you. I didn't understand what ethnic Albanians and Serbians, and you've been to Kosovo? It's fantastic. It really is. It just everything is just a false sense of aware. It's like, hey, you need to be outside the wire ASAP, and you get out there and you're all gillied up, ready to roll, and there's nothing to do. It's just your safety patrol, getting people on buses and guarding chickens from thieves, and it just wasn't my idea of a war, and so Iraq was coming up on the horizon, and we really thought we missed our chance. We were supposed to come from Turkey, and during the invasion, that didn't work out. And so we just kind of waited. We didn't think we were going to get a combat infantryman's badge. We didn't think we were going to get a combat patch. We were the 1st Infantry Division that became the peacekeeping division of the 80s and 90s. And the Big Red One, we have our own movie, Luke Skywalker's in it. This is a pretty good movie, You remember the one, it had the squad leader that was like 72 years old? Do you remember that? He had the white hair, and yeah, inexplicably he was. Anyway, I'm thinking I missed my fight, and I'm an infantryman, and there's a war going on, and I need to get my fight, because that's what we do. And so, winning the unlucky lottery, we got there at the end of Operation Iraqi Freedom 1. We were stationed in a little province that no one ever heard of called Diyala Province, that you might have heard of now, and it was a horrible, horrible area right on the Iranian border. We got to meet Iranian Revolutionary Guard in person, which was really a lot of fun, and Hezbollah guerrillas and terrorists from all over the world. It was, they say, what can the American military do? Well, we bring terrorists together, From Shias to Sunnis, Wahhabis and Iranian Revolutionary Guard, they were there to greet us. Africans, Filipinos, you name it, all in one spot. And we got the Najaf fight and Bakuba, and we got our urban contact. We got our house fights. We knocked it out. And by the time November 2004 rolled around in Fallujah, we had, pretty much been a bloody unit. And we had, you walk in a house and urban fighting is like, we've had our Palm Grove fights, Jeremiah and I were talking about this earlier. It's like a jungle. You got natural cover, 20 guys are on the other side of a berm. You go after them. You can maneuver your element the way you were trained to do it as an infantryman. And a city fight it's ridiculous. You have no idea. Situational awareness is gone. You don't know where they're coming from. One guy in one house can hold off an entire platoon. In a street, one machine gunner can keep an entire section at bay. That's urban fighting. Fallujah, we were used to coming into houses and knocking targets down. That's what we did. And one of the things that you're quick to realize is that it's just dumb luck. There are far better soldiers and Marines that are sitting here that are no longer with us because of luck. That's all it is. And so your sense of mortality it's heightened. You realize that there's nothing that you can do. It's the OK Corral. You open a door and there's a guy in there, And in Fallujah, it was actually my birthday, and I was 29 years old, and walked into a house. We got chewed up by 6 guys in a house. And, it just kind of devolved into a firefight, into a hand-to-hand struggle. And, I had my SAPI plate and my Kevlar and a Gerber. And, by the grace of God, I walked out. And the Islamists got their 72 virgins times 6. And, I got to be honest with you. In Fallujah, we had the chance to play offense in a house fight, got a chance to play defense on a house fight. I remember we were hunkering down one day, and a bunch of insurgents came through the door. They stacked up on the door, and they actually did the squeeze, and they came through the door, and we're like, what's going on here? Are we coming after you? You coming after us? What did you get the facts? Because we're supposed to be the ones on offense here, and I got to work with the Marines over there and just realize that this generation, we were the couch potato, generation. We were Generation X and not supposed to be doing anything with our lives, couldn't get our sideburns even. And now we're winning this fight. We're winning this war. And it's important that you can give a credit to a president, a political party, a general. The credit goes to the men and women that are over there and the men and women who are fighting what is one of the most dedicated enemy the Americans ever fought. And we're, make no mistake. Make no mistake, we're slapping those guys around. We are slapping them around, and there is a growing, this insurgency in the Civil War of 2006, it's over, and it's over because the men and women have changed strategy for the first time in our history. We have changed our strategy in the middle of a firefight. So, I'm just awfully proud to not only be on this panel with Captain Jackson and Staff Sergeant Workman, but just to be a part of this generation.